When you first open MasterTime's Management Console, the first thing you're presented with is a sign-in page. So you have to enter your username and your password to gain access to the programs. Once you're in the program, the programs begin and the splash page loads. And these username and passwords are actually set up in the employee file. The only people that need a password are those who are going to be running the management console. Although all employees need to be set up in there in order to register their time to clock in and out of jobs, they do not need passwords to use the system. In this video, we're going to look at basic navigation. How do I get around MasterTime, and how can I easily find what I'm looking for? So on the left-hand side, we have a section called Contents, and we have General Setup, we have Time Approval, Maintenance, and so on and so forth. If I click out here where it says General Setup, nothing happens. But if I click on this little diamond, it opens up all of the programs underneath for me. So don't get frustrated by clicking out here in this general area, although that will close it. In order to open this up, I actually have to click on the little diamond next to it. So if I pick something like Company here and I open it up, the easiest way to close this is just simply to go back, and it brings me back to my last screen. If I pick Company again, and I pick Password Maintenance, and I pick Vendor Maintenance, it looks like it's closing these windows up. And in essence, what it's really doing is it's actually overlaying windows on top of one another. If I go back, I now see my password, and then I see my company again. So if I just keep clicking these, it leaves pages open. So I suggest, just to make life simple, because I'm a simple kind of guy, that we close these up by, once we go to one, just simply go back before you go to the next one. Although it's up to you, you can just overlay them, and then you can go back to see previous pages, and so on and so forth. Another feature that's really handy is if I look at something like Employee Maintenance. And when I look at this, I have this menu area over here. And if I had more real estate, some of these things might straighten out. Like I have Randy and Sean here that are wrapped because there isn't enough space to display everything for them. So if I click this little bar on the upper left-hand corner, this icon that has these bars, it will close up that content section. And notice now Randy and Sean have taken up more space, and they're single spacing lines where they can. The only ones that are still being double spaced are these ones that have a lot of room for the default department codes out here. So I can get more room to view my stuff by simply clicking the 4 bars on the upper left-hand corner. If I click them again, my menu comes back. So in any of these fields, as you can see, there's a name box up above this, a little blank above the employee number, the box, whatever. So if I type in Kyle here, what this will do is it'll actually filter on any name that contains the word Kyle. And if I just delete this and I hit the Enter key, they all go back like they were. If I wanted to look for Sean, oops, might help if I spell it right. Then it will go look for anything that's in this column that contains the word Sean. That's really useful, and one of the things that's extremely useful is if I went out and I picked something like 2-3, and I want to find let's see if we have anything that really kind of is general everywhere, like the number 10 perhaps. So let's look for 10. And I do it in this upper area. This finds anything that has a 10 in it. So for example, it's highlighted everything that has a 10. Notice over here under the vendor number there's a 10. So this field at the top is a global search for anything in the database that contains those fields. And as I page through these, you can see that it's found the number 10 anywhere in any field in the entire table. Some of the fields have drop-downs. So for example, under location, I could pick 10, and I would just see all my location 10s. If I click the little red X, it brings everything back again. Another thing that's really useful is that I could put these into order. So for example, if I click the location up here, I see that I have 3 of these that don't have a location on them at all, and then it puts my 10s, my 40s, and so on and so forth. It actually puts these in an ascending or a descending order. If I click it again, it reverses the order in which these appear. So pretty handy way to be able to sort things. If I wanted to sort my names alphabetically out here, I could do that as well. So here I have them all starting with A through D and E, and then on the next page it picks up and so on and so forth. So I can filter this table on any of these fields by simply clicking this bar up and down to sort ascending or descending. Another thing to look at is that I have almost 100 employees that are in this file, and consequently they won't all fit on one page. So down at the bottom of this it says page 1 of 5. 101 items. So if I click on 2, I see the next page, and if I click on 3, I see the next page, and 4 and 5 and so on and so forth. So it's important to realize that when you're looking at a file out here, there can be more than one page, and they're located on these buttons at the bottom that take you from page to page. So if you want to edit an employee here, for example, you can't edit them from this list view. What you need to do is click the little button on the left-hand side that says Edit. And this opens up a window for you on which you can edit this. I can put him on the 2nd shift or on the 3rd shift, and I can change his location code, his default department code, change any of these various things about him that I choose to. In order to save this, I just hit the Update key, and that will make the changes to this employee. If for any reason you want to delete an employee, you click the Delete key. It'll say, are you sure you want to do this? I'm going to say no and cancel it. If you say OK, it will actually delete this employee. So all of these edits and deletes work in basically the same way. It'll give you a message if you click the Delete button, say, are you sure you want to do this? And if you say yes, then it will actually delete the employee. And if you click Edit, it allows you to go out and actually edit the text and the various fields that are out here for the employee. We have several dashboards that are available. Here I'm looking at the supervisor dashboard. And what this is doing is telling me the various supervisors that I have, all of the employees that work for them, and then the hours that they worked on these various dates. And there's several things that I can do with this. First of all, I can filter this by year. So obviously I want to look at 2022 here, and then I could look at a particular month. Notice I have October dates and I have November dates. So I could look for just October here, and that would filter down to these 5 days, 1 week in October, and basically summarize everything for me by each employee, the hours that they worked, and so on and so forth. I can go back in here and I can say, okay, let's not look at October, let's look at November. And now I have a lot more days out here in the month. I have the whole month of October. And then I can filter it by, for example, I want to look at maybe week 2. And if I filter on this, I get to 5 days in week 2. And this gives me my totals for each employee and so on and so forth. I can export these out to a PDF. I can export it out to Excel. So I have a lot of ability to actually be able to go out and slice and dice this the way that I want to, and then export it out into Excel as needed. So the next thing I'd like to show you are some of the basic reports that we have out here, and there's an entire list of these. I'm going to just select one of these, Print Employee Badges, and this allows you to select a range of employees to print badges for. And when I hit the Submit button, this actually prints them out with their employee code barcoded out so that you can cut these out. This is designed to print on a standard Avery Office business card stock so that you can print these, separate them, laminate them, and give them to your employees. The whole point being that then I can print these, obviously off on the office card stock. I can print a single page, the current page that I'm on. I can send these out to PDFs, to Excel documents, to a rich text file, Word docs, HTML formats, text, CSV files, or an image file. I can control the page by simply making it smaller or larger to be able to see the entire page on the system. If there are multiple pages here, I can go forward and backward or to the end and the beginning of the file. And so this program really allows a lot of flexibility in any kind of reporting system that you might want to use. So I hope this demonstration of some of the features and how to navigate and how to find data within MasterTime has been helpful to you.